Okay, let's just dive right in. AI is absolutely everywhere, right? You see the hype, you read the headlines, and you feel this pressure to be using it. But here's the thing. The real opportunity for your business isn't about just downloading the latest tool. Nope, it's about a much deeper shift, one that completely changes how work gets done. So today, we're going to break down what it really means to become an AI-enabled organization. Right now, if you look around, it seems like pretty much everyone is on board. Most businesses today are, in some way, shape or form, using AI. But there's a catch. And it's a big one. Very, very few are actually benefiting from it in a way that truly moves the needle. And that gap, right there, between using it and actually benefiting from it, well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. I mean, for any small or medium-sized business owner, you know the deal. The day-to-day pressure is just immense. The work keeps piling up, customer expectations are always getting higher, and all those tedious manual processes just seem to slow everything to a crawl. Does that sound at all familiar? So in the middle of all that chaos, AI comes along, promising to be the solution to everything. And this leads business owners everywhere to ask themselves the single most important question right now: how do we actually use this thing properly? To get to the bottom of that, we first need to look at what most businesses are doing. You can think of it as the first step on the AI journey, but as you're about to see, it's a pretty limited one. You've probably done some of these things yourself, right? Maybe you've asked ChatGPT for some marketing ideas, or you've automated a simple form, or plugged in a basic chatbot on your website. And look, these are helpful little time savers for sure. But, and this is the absolute key, they don't fundamentally change how your business operates. Now this is where it gets really interesting. This slide just lays out the difference so clearly. On one hand, using AI is all about speeding up these little isolated tasks with a handy bolt-on tool. But being AI-enabled, well, that's about completely redesigning how work itself happens. It's not a tool you add on, it becomes part of the very DNA of your company, your core operating model, driving business-wide outcomes. And that brings us to the real goal here. Becoming AI-enabled isn't about just tinkering around the edges. We're talking about a fundamental, structural shift in how your entire business functions. This is where the true transformative power of AI is finally unlocked. So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, imagine AI woven into the very fabric of your company. You've got AI agents that aren't just doing tiny tasks. They're executing entire workflows from start to finish. This completely changes the game for your team. It frees them up to focus on what we humans do best: exercising judgment, handling those tricky, complex exceptions, and building real, lasting relationships with customers. Okay, so this sounds like a pretty big change, right? Why should you care? Why does making this shift matter so much, especially right now? Because making this leap gives you a serious, almost unfair competitive advantage. All right, let's be honest for a second. Do any of these hit a little too close to home? Juggling way too many disconnected systems, getting buried under mountains of repetitive, manual admin, waiting forever for decisions to get made, losing hours just trying to find a single piece of information? These are the silent killers of productivity that hold so many businesses back. So here's the payoff. Becoming AI-enabled directly attacks these problems head-on. It removes the single biggest drag on your business, all that manual work and all those fragmented systems. When AI agents take over that soul-crushing repetitive work, your team suddenly shifts from constantly putting out fires to focusing on high-value, thoughtful delivery. And the results? Well, they are absolutely staggering. Research shows that AI-first organizations achieve 3 times higher productivity. But wait, it gets even crazier. They see 34 times higher revenue per employee. Let me say that again. 34 times. That is not a typo. And to top it all off, they benefit from 90% lower costs to acquire new customers. These aren't just small improvements, you guys. These are complete game changers. And this quote just nails the how. This isn't about hustle culture or burning out your team. These incredible organizations are not working harder, they are working differently. They've built a whole new engine for their business where AI does the heavy lifting and people do the meaningful, creative work that actually makes a difference. Which, of course, brings this all right back to you. After everything we've talked about, it's time to ask the single most important question you can ask about your own business. How do you know if you are actually AI-enabled? See, it's so easy to confuse using the cool new tools with truly changing the game. So ask yourself, is AI just speeding up your old way of working, or is it fundamentally helping you create a new one? The answer to that question? Well, that's what's going to define your future.